Good morning, friends of the internet. We are back again on our Farming Sim 15, and we did it. We did that last episode. We got it done. We got ourselves our first little windmill in the mix. We are now poor farmers that need to get back to this hard ass work and make some more cash. Hola, because that's the only way we're gonna get ahead in this game. So let's go ahead, and we still got some silage that we need to be worked on. I still have enough. What I need to do now is we have a $200,000 loan to the bank. We're gonna have to pay that back. We need to purchase a field. We need to get it planted with grass. We need to harvest our fields. Our fields are not ready yet, so we are kind of stuck, unfortunately, trying to deal with our silage grind. So, it's back to printing money, I guess. I mean, that's all we can really do. Because we are still waiting for crops. I haven't cycled any time frame or anything like that, but if we get this back in here, we'll get a little bit of cash and we'll get our head above water a little bit here in case we got to hire some workers or something to cut these fields. So I want to make sure we have a little bit of cash and cover our operating costs and things of that nature. So as much as the silage grind is the grind, we have to do it. We have to do it. And we don't have our crops ready yet, because I don't believe anything is ready. Let me look. No, everything is still growing. It looks like half a field of 21 is ready, but other than that, everything's still growing. So we are stuck. We're stuck. And that's the thing with farming. Sometimes things are ready and sometimes they are not. And that right now they are not ready for us. So we just gotta get this grind out of the silage. All right, so what we need to start considering is we're going to have to start thinking about dealing with our slurry that we're going to be acquiring here quite quickly. I don't know if I want to spend the money to buy equipment for that just yet. It's something we have to consider, though. I don't even know how much is in there, to be honest, but I know it's got to be getting. Whoa, 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 whoa! I'm driving bad. Don't mind me. I got my driver's license out of a Cracker Jacks box this morning. I'm new. This is the first time I ever operated this piece of equipment. Let's run over and look at this really quick, because I am not sure how much is in here. Gotta turn on our help menu. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, see, we've got 77,000 in this thing, so we're going to have to deal with this really soon. So the problem that we face is spending the money, because let's see, I'd like to spend the 286,000 that we get on buying that field to grow it into grass, but it's not major priority right now because we can probably put 5 or 6 more windmills in there, so we can put that on the back burner for right now. But if we buy a truck is going to cost us $285,000 or $165,000, depending on which one. I bought this truck in my other world. It's okay. I really prefer these man trucks. They're like way better. So that's $285,000. And then if we get a slurry tank, now this is where it kind of gets confusing, because there's a couple different tanks here. This semi-trailer tractor, we can fill it up from here, and it sprays fertilizer. It sprays the slurry on the fields. This one does not. Or wait, maybe it does, but you can also add this attachment. I don't remember. But this is for a tractor, more or less. This one is more for transport. This transports from one location to the other. Tanks transports liquids. Semi-trailers can be attached using a dolly. This one is a slurry spreader, so you have to be very cautious and pay attention to what's down in your usage selection of your tanks when you're purchasing tanks, because you may look at this and be like, okay, this one's 25,000, this one's 3,000. It's only a little bit more. I'm going to buy this one so they can spread slurry, and find out, oops, you can't spread slurry. This is only a transportation style one. This one spreads it. Now, this one does nothing but parks. The axle actually lays back up, it lifts up, and this thing lays flat on the ground. So basically what you do is you take this trailer, this green one, and you fill it up, you run it over, and you put this next to a field, and then you fill that tank with this one. Then you take this tank and fill off of that tank next to your farm or next to your field, and then you can spray the slurry. So that's where it kind of gets confusing. Now this one goes with the IT Runner series, which is I believe a spreader too. Can be lift transported at field difference. Yeah, slurry spreaders improve the harvest of your field. So this one also spreads, and it's only 34,000, but you still got to have the other trailer. But it's only a 15,000 capacity versus 25,000. So where do you spend your money? Because that's 34,000. This one's 62. But then if we actually go and we look at our tipper trailers and we look at the bottom piece of the IT Runner is 55,000. So it's a lot more to get the trailer, but we could use this with a truck or with a tractor instead. So we could actually use this with a tractor and not have to purchase the $250,000 truck. So be 55,000 plus the, what was it, 34,000. So be $89,000 versus 300 and something. So that could be an alternative go-to, and we could actually utilize this trailer later with some other tipper trailers and stuff like that. But something to consider. We're going to have to start thinking about how we're going to handle that situation because we need to be able to utilize that slurry somehow. I don't really prefer using it. I would prefer to use the fertilizer more, just due to the fact that the fertilizer is a lot quicker, cheaper, faster. All around is a better thing. You start using that slurry and it doesn't go that far, I realized. So it's kind of a pain, but something that we should think about dealing with to actually utilize. I mean, it would save us fertilizer cost right now. I mean, even though fertilizer cost is not that expensive, but we'd have the initial layout of the money to be able to afford. What's going on here? Why am I scooping up that little section? Okay, so what I was getting back to is it's not really cost effective to use it as a sprayer or as a fertilizer for all the fields. It doesn't go that far. The slurry runs out really fast. The only other way that I found that it worked well is if you actually put it in the yellow slurry tanks with the plow behind it, but then you're waiting for those to plow the fields, and then if they run out of slurry, then your field still gets plowed, but then it's not fertilized. So you got to really stay on top of your workers on that. So it's a catch-22 of how you want to handle it. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the slurry, if I'm being honest. I would prefer to grab that little fertilizer on the back of a tractor. It runs across the field and you're done in an instant. It's cost effective. It's quick. It's a way better system, I think. But, let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you want to do with it. Because I'm still not 100% sure how I want to handle that situation yet. I'm still debating if we're going to get into the cattle. I'd like to maybe explore it just so we can kind of say, okay, we did it, but it's going to take some money for us to do such. It's going to cost us a lot of extra cash and time and energy, but for the immersion of the game, it might be fun to do and show you guys how it works. So if you guys have any questions of how the cattle side and the hay baling, people are always asking me, because I was kind of clueless too when I first started playing this game about the hay bales, because they talk about hay bales and then they talk about grass hay bales, and then you need round hay bales versus rectangle square bales. And so there's a lot of stuff that is kind of, if you don't know the game, you kind of are like, what? How do I make this? And the other thing I struggled with was like, how do I start a hay baler and get a partial amount of straw hay and then try to do a grass hay bale? Does it automatically switch it to grass? Do I have to eject the material in the hay baler somehow? And so there's some questions there that I kind of might skim over when I go through that kind of stuff, because it's just normal to me now. I think that's the thing that people forget about YouTube and gaming and whatnot, is sometimes it's easy to skip over important details. Like I've looked at videos like trying to figure out how to bale grass hay into straw hay or whatever. And I get all these YouTube videos and I watch it, and it's basically just a video about somebody baling hay. So it doesn't really explain anything. It's not really a tutorial. It's just kind of, oh, I'm baling hay today. I don't know how many times I've done that. Looked for something on YouTube and turned out that I've watched 3 videos before I ever found an actual video that actually made sense of what I was looking for. All right, let's get this dumped in here. We're almost done, guys. We're getting a little bit of cash back in our pocket, which is good. Our field's still growing. Now, I hope this explains why I tell you I like to do stuff off camera, because I could spend hours just sitting here doing this silage. And this is all I do off camera for you guys to make the video and then say, look, we've got 800,000 in the bank. Ain't that nice? Well, this is how I have to do it. I have to spend hours off camera just doing this. So I figured I would share a little bit of this grind with you in these last couple episodes, just to kind of let you see what it's like and what I have to go through to actually get this done for us to move forward in this game. But we do have our windmill, and it's making us $2,000 an hour, bitches. That's right. All right, so let's grab this last little bit. Man, we're so close, guys. So close. I want this silo bin to be empty. And then we can fill it back up and do it all over again. Oh. I'll tell you, this right here, if you play this farming sim, this is the best way to make money. But once you finally get the windmills, man, you're so happy you don't have to do this silage grind like this any longer. Because you cannot hire a worker. This is the thing with silage. All the crops and fields and stuff like that, you can hire workers to plow them and cultivate them and do all this stuff. But this you cannot hire a worker for, nor can you hire a worker to harvest any of the chaff for you. So you're basically stuck hands-on doing all this. Which I understand. This is probably what the devs wanted you to have to do, was to be able to put in the time if you really want to make the money. Like, you can hire workers to do all the crops for you, and that's the easy part, But having to do this by yourself really explains like what the devs were actually thinking. They were like, oh, we're going to make these guys, if they want to make serious cash, we're going to make them have to do it manually themselves and not hire a worker. Because if you could just hire a worker to sit here and just shovel silage like this, that's all he did, was you just brought him in here and said, hire a worker. And that's what he'd do. He'd just scoop buckets, back up, and then drop it off, and he could just sit in here and just do his own little thing. And you would never have to worry about him. You just start him doing his thing, and he'd just like do this, man. You could just make so much money. It would be pretty OP if you could. To have somebody just like sitting here shoveling silage while you were off doing other things. It'd be cool as hell, though. Hopefully one of the developers are watching and they're like, maybe we should try this out. Because that would be so awesome. And then you just come over and monitor him and say, yep, he's almost done filling up that silo bin. We're good. So let's go over here. This last little bit. Well, I couldn't figure out what was going on. I've been sitting here recording this whole time thinking, damn, the audio is loud. I usually have the audio set to the perfect volume for all these recordings. And for you guys, you're not noticing it. But for me, I have my PC volume on while I record. And when you record on Xbox One through the program that I use, it actually amplifies the sound in-game. So I was getting like dual audio, and it sounded like, man, it sounded like the engine was just tearing through my headset. I was like, why is it so loud? I said, I know that sound is the right setting, so I just was ignoring it, and then I just realized that my speaker was not muted on my PC, so it was just blasting through my headsets, this engine of this thing. So if I was talking a little loud these last couple episodes, now you'll know why. I was trying to talk over the noise of this truck or these engines, and turns out they weren't as loud for you as they were for me. All the technical issues when it comes to making YouTube videos. First today it's the audio, tomorrow it's video issues, next it's YouTube processing issues. I love it. That's the only thing that can be difficult. I love making content for you guys. I love coming in here, getting the immersion of the game. It helps get you out of your normal grind of your day-to-day life. You know, I think that's why gaming is so successful these days, especially on like Twitch and stuff. Because people have a hard day. They want to kind of come home and just lose themselves into a fantasy world where, you know, television, you know, you get to see sitcoms and stuff like that, but it doesn't really drop you into a full-on fantasy like a game like this is, you know, because there's a lot of people that maybe never have farmed a day in their life or know what farming's about, never ran a piece of equipment, never even did any kind of manual labor, but for them this is kind of peaceful. But for other people that watch this video may think, well, this guy's just running equipment farming, I do this on a daily basis, I don't want to watch this, you know. So I get the immersion level that people find within video games. I think that's why the industry is so huge right now, is just because it makes it nice to be able to come home and sink into the immersion of something simple like this. And I think that's why the headaches that I find sometimes with the YouTube processing, or you're having a video editing issue or an audio issue some days, is small potatoes compared to me sitting down and playing this game. Like, I'm actually in game driving a piece of equipment. And I think that's just fun to just be immersed in the game, just doing that and just lose yourself and just like tone out the rest of the world and just actually enjoy the concept of playing a video game. And I think there's a lot of people that don't understand the concept of immersion when it comes to video games, and why people find video games so addicting. I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean, that's what it does for me. Like the Minecraft series I love doing the Minecraft series because I'm just like give this blank canvas that has all the items I could ever want in it. And my imagination is what like spins what I make, you know, like what are you going to create or build or, you know, design or, you know, and I've been a contractor, you know, where I built houses and stuff. And I think that in itself is also what I enjoy like about like Minecraft, you know, it's the aspect of being able to build and create. You know, I've always enjoyed that in my normal real life, so to be able to do that in game from the comfort of your home and not be out, you know, doing the hard physical labor of trying to build a house, you can actually build it in Minecraft and be like, oh, that was fun, that was creative and fun and entertaining. And I think that's what a lot of people don't really realize about video games, honestly. All right, guys, so after that little tangent of information, brain thought I had, I think that's it. We not have enough money to pay back our loan, nor do we have enough money to pay back our loan and still have money left over. Let's see. We don't have enough money to purchase the field, so we're going to have to make some more silage, unfortunately. Our bins are empty. Our fields are being harvested, they're being grown right now. Let's jump over and look at this field. You can see half of it's done. So we're not even ready to harvest yet, guys. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this episode here since we are done with our silage. We're done with our crops. Hopefully what we'll do is maybe in the next couple episodes, we'll go ahead and we'll get these crops ready to go. We'll be ready to harvest them. Yeah, we just got the one field. That's it. I mean, the number 16 looks like it's... No, 16 was growing late too because it's still like the lighter blue. It's not the darker blue. So we're going to have to just let this stuff happen. Do we got anything in the silo bins? We got 60,000 in barley. We could dump that. That would give us a little bit of extra cash. But that's in the silo bin, so I'm not going to really worry about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and end this episode here. Hopefully when we come back the next couple episodes, I'm gonna have to cycle some time frame and everything, and we'll be back next episode, and hopefully then we can start getting back to our harvest. We'll start getting some more silage set up. Hopefully we'll start getting some more money in the bank so that we can get our loan repaid. We can get maybe some more equipment. I think we're pretty good with equipment right now. We got some nice pieces of equipment to do all the harvesting and silage that we need to do. So actually, equipment wise, we're pretty good. The only thing we got to consider is maybe the silage, or not the silage, but the slurry. So that's what we got to work on, is like trying to figure out what we're going to do there, and if we're going to deal with cattle too. So, but that again is going to take a lot of money. So, had to get a quick drink there, man. I got a tickle in my throat. All right, guys. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. That way you know when we're posting new YouTube content and we're live streaming. If you haven't checked us out on Twitch or YouTube Gaming, come hang out, be part of the audience. And if you're new to them channels, smash those follow buttons over there as well. So until next time, guys, thanks for hanging out with me here on the farm. Thanks for the support on the channel and the series. And until next time, we'll see your faces later.